So this first two clips, I'm just showing me as proof that I didn't really use any spirit points to get the incapacitations or kills, and I didn't use it for boss summons, which was 450 years a lot. Now, I do cuss in this clip because I wanted to let them live. The Mia gave up and stopped playing, so I just downed her. But unfortunately, they kept running into traps here. They almost had this point, and he goes down from the trap. And now I'm trying to possess things so she doesn't go down, but I placed a proxy trap there, unfortunately. And so, as you can see, I'm grabbing this. I'm just hoping I don't grab her instead. But then she hits a trap, and that's why I cussed, because I wanted to let them win. And I couldn't finish my boss summons. But I put too much pressure. So as you can see, I got 5 boss summons there, and then I downed them 24 times. And so I was able to finish that. And so I had 10 more boss summons. Now, this is where I kind of just got my last summons for boss. And so I'm letting them win. Like, I was going to let them win on the last one too. Like I said, I don't really care about winning. And you can see that I have 10 points that I need to spend there. And it's because I didn't put any points into my basics summons or elite summons. I was literally just focusing boss. I did down them, but I downed them with traps and I downed them with boss. So I was happy there. So she's possessable. And I'm going to let them do whatever they want to do here. I deserve it, you know. Now there, so you can see that the leader isn't getting feared there, and I am expecting to embrace the darkness with 2 points. So that's why these two got feared. Now I'm just possessing them just to kind of like chill and hang out with them on Buck. The only person that's really chill is the Ed, to be honest. And I just enjoying the chaos here. Ed looks really cool possessed. I'm really glad they did really good work there. Once she becomes feared again, I'm able to grab her. Now I don't think he's flashlight clicking me because he's mad at me. I just think he's joking around, so yeah. So I'm just chilling with him, just waiting for the game to end, so I can finally get P5. Ball. And to be honest, I like games like this, where the survivors just chill and they understand that you're just playing your role. And so, here I finally got my boss summons here. I summoned boss 9 times that game. And I should have let it play out there so that you could see the check mark. And then now I'm going to the actual screen. So this is how it looks like when you get to the next prestige level. You get a little notification there, and then you actually go to whatever character you need to go, and then you go to the prestige system and then press square on the unlock. So, yeah. Now I'm going to talk about builds. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about Prestige 5 Baal. I currently have him level 1. As you'll see in the beginning of this video, I just leveled him up to P5. So I get this cooldown 75% reduction for Scarefest. And this was like the build I had for the last stretch. I'm gonna keep it, except I'm probably gonna take a point out somewhere. I need to take out 2 points actually to put it into this, because I'm gonna have the strict boss build, and then that'll be my full boss build, and this will be the build that I use for Baal. You could say this is a book build, but to be honest, I just like using boss, even though he's garbage, fancy garbage, but he's fun to use, and you need this maxed out with the boss build, because yes, you'll be burning through your infernal energy when you have boss and them setting off the traps, but Baal is so slow with his attacks that you need him to get staggered from the traps to actually do any damage. So you think that having this tree kind of maxed out so that they're marked longer would be good, but to be honest, I'd rather use it for the elites. Even though the elites are slow and you're not going to hit the survivors with them, sometimes you just got to go for buck. Like, I like to play chill, and you'll see in a video later on of me just playing chill with Baal. Like, not really putting pressure on the survivors as much, and just kind of playing a lore-accurate build. But, yeah. Let's go over each prestige and how long it took. Now, I got from 1 to 45. I used spirit points. I didn't go from 1 to 45 and then start doing these while I was doing it, because the prestige system was already out. Baal's a new demon. Had been out for a while. I was still working on Plague. So I'm going to tell you what was the hardest things to do for each one. Like, the 2 sections that you should skip, because they took me the longest. That's killing survivors. Now it says incapacitate or kill. So when they go down, that counts as 1. And when they die, they bleed out, that counts as another. So that one was pretty easy. The demon dashes and wins were easy because I had cooldown reduction for the demon dash, and winning with Baal, pretty easy. You know. So just going for the downs. Now the downs I finished first before I actually got the damage, because damage, it takes a while to get. They usually go down before you can really get enough damage on them. So games will go really quickly. You get 4 downs and you're done. So you have to like string along the game, and you're going to be very surprised. But a boss elite build is probably the best for damage. That's how I did all my damage challenges, actually using boss. But I was also had this tree maxed out with boss. It was very tedious. The Infernal Energy one was hard for P2. The Fear one one's the easiest. Like, you'll get that done in a couple games. It was pretty easy. Completed matches, all you do is just complete matches. You don't need to win or lose, so that's easy. And the dealing damage again was really hard. So here there were just to collect Infernal Energy. I wouldn't spec into Infernal Energy. I had this problem with Plague as well, and Plague has like the most Infernal Energy you can collect. You can't spec into Infernal Energy with your demon points in game, because you passively get Infernal Energy, and that doesn't count to collecting. You actually have to collect the orbs. So there were times when I left points so I wouldn't get Infernal Energy just to go collect orbs. And wouldn't spec into Infernal Energy. Now this one's easy. You just, once again, cooldown reduction for basics and elites and bosses. And then winning is easy. So this one was super easy. This is a super easy tier to go through. I went through this one really fast. Once again, it's damage, demonic dashes, and having survivors trigger scare traps. So this one was all easy except the damage one. And once again, I went with the boss build for that damage. But boss is really slow. Like, you have to have your ability up with boss to get any chance of dealing damage with him. And kind of position your boss like right on the trap, so when they're trying to melee you, they set up the trap. I mean, Baal doesn't really move when he attacks anyways, so that's probably like the perfect place to do. Good survivors won't even... they'll run away from you when you use Baal. And if they're on point, they just won't go near you. And they'll just dodge away. So... now, this one is no-brainer what the easiest one is. Possess 870 survivors. That was the easiest. Win 70 matches was even easier. The hardest one was incapacitating or killing 1,290 survivors and summoning boss. The most I summoned in one game was 14 times boss. And that was me stringing the game along until the timer ran out, and I won from them not collecting the dagger and pages. The downs, I think, were way easier, because if you string the game along to the last couple seconds, you can get more than 40 downs. And of course you'll get sweaty games and you won't be able to get any downs at all. But you'll get those games where you get those 40 to 60 downs, and it'll really help with the incapacitate or kill survivors. And it counts as 2 if they bleed out. So, unfortunately, sometimes survivors just give up. And it's understandable. Like, you don't know what the demon's thinking. Like, if I was just thinking as a survivor, I'd be like, why the hell is he letting res people and then immediately murder them? He's not going to let us win this game. I might as well give up. It's very easy to tell if a demon is doing... not necessarily you won't know what they're doing the challenges, but that it'll feel like they're trolling you. Like, oh, you guys aren't good enough to stay alive for 2 seconds. It's unfortunate, but I know a lot of survivors felt that way when I was going up against them. And I'm like, I'll put us up of a game after this of that situation where it was just, they hated my guts the whole game. And I was trying to be like friendly, but how could you be friendly after downing them 60 times, you know? And letting them win. Like I said, I didn't really care about winning or losing while prestiging 5 Baal. I just like Baal more than I did Puppeteer from the TV show. And so that's why I kind of wanted to have a more accurate build with him. Now, this perk right here is awful. It doesn't do anything. First of all, you have to hit light or heavy attacks. So the only thing that it really does help is the grab. Now, if I max this out to 6 and I grab the leader, this is where this perk would be good. If I grabbed a leader and it max feared him so that if I downed everybody on point except the leader, I could fear him off point, then this would be useful. But it doesn't even do that. So, yes, I have the 1 point here, and I do have an extra point that I have to pull from somewhere. Like, I have to pull from here or here, and I don't want to do that. Like, honestly, since I have the 75% now, I can just pull it here, and I put it here. But since this doesn't do anything, I don't want to put it in there. I'd rather have this up. Now, you could say that this isn't a real boss build because I don't have balance bar. That's totally understandable, but you level up so quickly as Baal that, like, you'll be able to max him out so he doesn't get his balance bar rocked. So my final point I'm probably going to use, I'm going to put it right here. Or here. It all depends, really. Like, I want to put 3 points into this if it actually did something. Like, once... The thing I don't... Like, there's a max amount of fear they can receive, right? So if they're already max fear, this does nothing. Right? And they're probably going to be max fear anyways if they're support... Well, if they support Ashe, maybe they won't be max fear because they'll use their ability and stuff. But it's so easy to get fear on the survivors besides leaders. And so this is the perk that should actually really affect the leaders. But it doesn't. It really doesn't. And so that's unfortunate. So that's why I still think this is a boss build, to be honest. Like, if I would put this point somewhere else. You don't need to put a point into this if you have this. Because once you could, they're possessable, you could see them on the map. So there's no reason for this. Sometimes you don't want to have this because if they're easily possessable, they'll be easily possessable in the book. And you'll accidentally grab a survivor instead of the elite that you're trying to grab. But I have this because I have no other fear. Like, I don't have Dead by Dawn, and I don't have Mark of Evil or Omen of Death. So I feel like this is okay. Because they only get fear from the traps. Yeah, so that's how you kind of like prestige Baal naturally without using any spirit points. As you can see, I have 12 million spirit points. I'm going to be using... I'm trying to get to 12,500,000. I do 1 million a week, so I can P5 my next survivor that I want to do from level 25. Hopefully, I'm hoping that they release another character, Chet, and I'm just going to P5 him immediately. And kind of just put up a video about Chet and P5 and how it feels to play him on P5. The next character I'm going to be using is Ruby, and I'm going to get her to P5. So it's going to be nice. I have a point here. Oh, I took that out. So yeah, check out the gameplay I'm going to play post. Basically, it's just a video of how horrible of a person I am. I literally just keep down the survivors and keep letting them res until they get to the book, and they just hate my guts. I'll probably go to hell for that game. Thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the gameplay. So in this game, I'm not as ruthless as I am normally. I'm so close to finishing here, so I'm kind of just doing what I'll do once I get to P5, and that's kind of have like a lore accurate build. I'm letting him get reses, and the Ashe is, I think, low level, and I take advantage of that. So you could say that I still am doing that. I position myself just so that both the traps reset right here. They should know my abilities up and not keep running into these traps. Like I said, I'm not even really possessing anything here. I see that the Hunter Ashe is rezzed, so I possess something here. Use the explosion immediately, and just wipe away. I have enough units here where they're creating enough chaos so I can actually get damage here. But their job should not be trying to fight me. Their job should be getting out of here. Now this blacksmith was very good this game and was able to get reses off. And you'll see that I possess the Hunter Ashe, and he immediately stops his res. Normal people, what they would do is they would continue with the res and not react to the possession. So like I said, I'm not really going to put anything into basics or elites, I don't think, this game. But I am Max Infernal Andrew, so this dash does not really have to do anything. But here I black off the Hunter Ashe, the boss. So I'm kind of keeping him in this area. And as you see, I'm just trying to be like a lore active all of them, throwing fear of God into that leader Ash. Now I want to go for the grab on the leader Ash, but he is running. And I see that the Hunter Ash is back up, so I just grab him instead. But the blacksmith is there to help him out. So I get the down there, and then I go for the health regen. It doesn't regen that much health. My balance bar is going to get rocked, so I immediately click the point, so that once I recover, they can't affect my balance bar anymore. And I'm just, like, they should just be running away from me. Right? Like I said, that blacksmith is doing a very good job, so I'm trying to keep the blacksmith alive. And see, you stop the res and immediately goes for the melee. Very smart. Which you think blacksmith would be like a bad character to use up against Baal, because he doesn't have, he can't use any weapon to knock out the possessed survivors. And normally, yeah. So I try not to use points for my basic and elites, and literally just trying to go for a boss slash trap elite build. I thought they were going to keep staying in there, so I kind of use my ability. I have cooldown reduction, and so I'm just going for heavies. And like I said, I'm not really trying to. I'm just trying to create chaos. And you'll see me during book phase. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to go for a win. I just want to like have a lore accurate game. I just want to use my dash there, and I actually want to see what this blacksmith is going to do. So I let him finish and then possess. And I just like using the bleep for Mia. I know it's like the worst thing you could do with Mia, because they can literally knock you out. The axe does have hyper armor, so when you do possess, but you can get knocked out of possession so quickly with Baal, which I feel like it needs to be. I don't know if that's a bug or intended, but it really does mean if you stayed in possession for too long as Baal, you'd just be creating too much chaos. Where like weapon dropping would be mandatory for every character except leader. Now I'm not gonna possess the car here. I do have the Inferno Force. I'm just, my whole thought was like maybe I could summon boss in front of the car and really like throw him off. But they go for this car instead. They have like the better car to use. Honestly, they're literally just going to the point. I was confused while playing what they were doing. Like they could have just taken the road, and that would have been fine. I summon bots because I need boss summons, and they are taking way too long just to get to the point. Yeah, so unfortunately, like I said, I could stall out the game and possess the car and stuff. But honestly, like I was so close to finishing, I kind of just wanted to like feel how my P5 boss build is going to be like. And they don't even have them all the map pieces yet. And I keep trying to possess this Hunter Ash, but I accidentally grab the units every time. I trapped out Fashion Farm first. I feel like that's the best way to level up, is trapping out Fashion in the dead end. Because of all these traps and stuff here. So I see that he has a... yeah. He has this gun. And they're swinging at each other because I used his Ball's ability. So there's a 14-second cooldown with that. Which you know what? I don't actually know if cooldown reduction works for that as well. So he grabbed another gun, I saw that, and now I want to use that gun. And so now I have... I do not like the green crossbow. It's funny because I like playing Ed a lot. Because of, like, how much you can help your team with Ed. I mean, yes, it's all RNG, but like you can get a lot of ships and stuff here. As you can see, this blacksmith is playing very smart. So see, that's where I go with the lights now. Now this leader Ash is using a lot of heavies with the chainsaw, which is something you don't want to do because there's no heavy ammo for the chainsaw when it comes to heavies. Now they have one more map piece. I'm going to summon the boss here. I kind of want to like summon the boss in front of the card to kind of throw him out. And this is where I go for the downs again. Like I said, the one person I don't want to down is the blacksmith. So I'm trying to make very sure I don't. Like, but unfortunately I downed him there. So I'm deciding what I should do. Should I just let him res or let him bleed out? I tried to go for a grab, but it did something weird. I dropped, so yeah. I don't want the blacksmith to bleed out. I'm just getting my infernal energy back. Yeah. So now I left the beginner survivor alive. And unfortunately... Oh, yeah, so it was Lamia that played that. So I'm happy about that. Because I want the blacksmith to live because he seems like... And like I said, now I'm in the job of just possessing things so they don't kill them. I'm not even going to possess the Hunter Ash, and he used his ability there. So like I said, he is new to the game. Or he would have used it on the basic when I possessed it, not knowing that what I'm trying to do here. He even gets out of the car here with... Now, I could just down him here, but that's not what I want to do. I want them to get the next map piece, and I want them to get to the next point. They have 14 minutes left. If I string this game along too much, they're not going to be able to collect the pages and daggers. And like I said, I am not trying to go for the win here. I am just trying to go for downs and boss summons. Now, I thought, oh, he's going to go for the car. That's great. But I decided to just watch him. Because their team is coming for him, which is good. But he should have never got out of the car in the first place. But once again, you could tell that he's new to the game. Once again, I'm not going to possess the car. I'm surprised I haven't summoned boss already. But like I said, I'm trying to go for like a more accurate kind of thing, so I'm kind of like freaking out. And so what I do is now I remember. I summoned a boss because I thought I could block the car there. And so then I just slowly walk at him. But then they mess up the car. And because they get stuck and they're like panicking running forward. And I'm just slowly walking at him because that's what I wanted them to do. So then I start running. Now he knows. So I go for the grab. I could have done more damage if I went invisible and then grabbed. So I'm really glad because after a while, this blacksmith starts getting the message of what I'm trying to do. And I'm really trying to... I let him get the res there. I don't want to go for kills here. Because the blacksmith only has one ship. And I'm just trying my best to really keep the blacksmith alive. Like I said, I'm trying to freak him out. And I decide to let him bleed out there. And then I bleed out the leaders as well. And I could go invisible and not let him kill me, but I actually want him to have a ship. So I'm going to go invisible and just drop in front of him. It's going to freak him out a little bit. He's like, where the hell did that ship come from? Now, I'm making boss look really strong here. But that's because the survivors are engaging with boss. And that's the problem with boss build, is that for it to really take effect, you need to engage with Baal. Good survivors won't engage with him. And because there's no need to. Yeah, you need to get boss kills for the prestige system, but the Hunter Ash and Mia don't have to get boss kills for the prestige level that they're at right now. And neither does Blacksmith have it in his anywhere that he has to get boss kills. Same with Leader Ash. Now they're smart here. They're kind of understanding what I'm trying to do is just get fear here and throw chaos into the masks. The only time I'm really possessing basics now or elites is when I don't want them to go down. I see the Leader Ash. I kind of want to stall a little bit more, but I shouldn't have done this. I should have let him just start the point and then kind of let him get all here. Now, I have 22 seconds here. I don't want to knock down the fence, because if I knock down the fence, they won't get like kind of stuck in here. So that's why I'm kind of like trying very hard not to knock it down. And you'll see on this point that the blacksmith finally understands what I'm trying to do. That I'm just like messing around. And as you can see, I'm slowly walking at him. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you have to use abilities with boss to really actually have any effect. And now I'm using lights instead of heavies. And it does a lot of damage. Whatever that ability that I use, it would do more. And yeah, the Leader Ash went down as well. Like, all they have to do is like dodge. So I feel really bad for this blacksmith. It's so tough with support sometimes when your teammate doesn't dodge. The Hunter Ash is not even here. Like I said, I want to keep him alive, the blacksmith, because he knows what's going on. He knows what to do. And I'm really happy that he's a good sport, and not really just going AFK on me. Because if he goes AFK, then it'll be even harder to keep him alive. I tried to block that basic so it didn't hit him on the res, but she's bleeding way too fast. So once again, I'm just watching, slowly walking at him, being intimidating, and then start with the elites. And after that fourth one, you need to do ability, or you'll run your hand through your hairs. So it's an animation cancel. I go invisible here, and then go for the grab, because I feel like it would have killed him, but he wasn't marked. If he was marked, he would have went down for sure. And I ran on his left hand. So, like I said, he just uses his ability. Now, he doesn't want me to down anybody else there. I don't want to down him. So I go for, yeah, the hunting rifle has horrible reload. They knocked down the fence there. So once again, I'm going to use my ability here. That way I can create some chaos. And I possess her. He already uses his ability, not that it mattered. And there he goes. And I'm letting him go for the res again, but I have my ability up. So I back up so I can get it. And then I'm like, oh. But he bleeds out. It's funny because you have to guess how many shimps they have while doing this kind of strategy and working on these downs. Now, she has a gun. So she should be swinging at me, but I don't know why she decides not to. So now he's the only person left alive. His health is in the orange. He did pick up shimps. So now I'm gonna kind of just depossess things around him because they almost got the point. Now they have 6 minutes left. They need to start the point with one person at least at the 4-minute mark. If they don't have one person on point for 4 minutes, they're not going to get the point. And because of that, oh, this is where I have fun with the blacksmith. I'm really happy that he was a good team player here. And we start playing ping pong. This was so funny. I was really happy about this. But the blacksmith was kind of... He was on the same page here. It's like, okay. Unfortunately, these units kept coming to, you know, ruin our fun here. But it was still pretty fun. It was funny too that they were coming. And then I did the little hands, yeah. So that's the hand thing that you want to avoid and cancel it with an animation. The problem with his attacks is when he's doing the light attacks, it's a cone in front of him. It's not a slash. So so like I said, it's almost 4 minutes. So I'm kind of like thinking to myself, oh, there's tons of cars there. They'll get here. But it is pretty far. So I kind of start and I see the vehicle driven. That normally happens anyways, even if they're not driving after the point. I don't know if that's a bug or something, but it always says that. Whether they're driving or not, after the point is done. I'm kind of just really going around like, okay, I need them to get to a point. And I start kind of panicking here. I'm like, hey, it's 4 minutes and they're not even close to point here. So because they're not close to point, I need to let them... I use this to slingshot forward and try... Because I see them walking. I'm like, they're walking? They had a car. Like, why didn't they take a car? I was really panicking. I'm like, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Oh no. Like, so I'm like, okay, there's a car here. I'm going to drive this car to them. And I see the leader ash is just the furthest above. So I see him in a car. So I'm like, okay, thank God. He has a car. Hopefully he goes to point. Now he doesn't take the road. He goes off-road. He probably sees the car and thinks I'm going to knock him off the road or something. But like that's the furthest thing I'm trying to do. So then I'm going to drive kind of near him in case if his car flips. And so I'm kind of driving to point. They have 3 minutes here. They are cutting it very close. Now he crashes his car. I started parking cars at this point because I want them to take the car after the point is done. So they don't start this point. Like they're taking their sweet time starting this point, unfortunately. Luckily the other team gets the car closer. And the blacksmith is like really carrying the steam for them. Now, this is kind of where I just do boss summons now. Like I can't go for downs. If I go for downs with 2 minutes and 30 seconds, like they're not going to get the point. And so I'm just going to let them take out their frustration on me. I completely understand. Maybe I think they need damage. As I said, Blacksmith is being real chill. He kind of understands what I'm doing. And so I looked at it as a machete, legendary machete for Mia. That could down, and I didn't notice that when I was playing. The Hunter Ash missed his ability. Like I said, he's definitely new to the game, which is, you know, I just was surprised that he missed every single ability. So I'm kind of just like trying to like say, hey, I'm friendly, but they just don't. Yeah, they just don't like me at all, and I understand. And I almost screw up here, and I just depossess here because I'm like, oh, they have like a minute left. If I keep possessing them, they may not be able to get the point. So I'm just seeing if they're chill. Blacksmith's the only one that's kind of like chill. I'm kind of just trying to hang out with them. Blacksmith like was not trying to hit me, but he was auto locking. So now they kind of understand what I'm trying to do. Like say, hey. But like I said, they probably need damage or something. That Hunter Ash probably doesn't need the damage, but doesn't know any better. Now, since this Blacksmith like knows what I'm doing, he's actually gonna take his time to get to book. And then I found out what happened with car there. So I summoned boss here and just depossessed because I need boss summons for my thing to get to P5. Which, as of this video, as this time, I have P5. I have not gotten him to level 50 yet, but that's just easy. That's just playing games, you know. I'm still not going to use the spirit points to get him to level 50. Like I said, I'm saving those spirit points to P5 as survivor from level 1 to P5. Now I am worried about the storm. I want them all to survive here. So I'm like bringing the car to her and honking like, hey, get in the car. You need to get going. I left 3 cars there for you guys. Like I could like not do this and just like wait for my boss summons, but like I want them to win. They engaged with me this game. They were so I'm like flashing the flashlight not to be an asshole. Just to say, hey, the car is here. Take it. And now I'm kind of rushing to the Dark Ones to kind of see what they're doing. And I kind of want to like... I haven't been able to put any pressure since the first point. Because I want them to win. And I don't want to down them, but I also want to have like a lower Edgar build where I'm kind of like creating chaos and you know, freaking them out. Like, is he going to come after me? Like, what's going on? So this is where I summon boss. And they kind of like understand already that I'm running away. So they're not like feeling threatened here. I go the other way because I want to slowly walk at him. And now she sees me. And so I go for the grab. If I were invisible, it would have taken off more health. But once again, they're just working on that. The Dark One's not really worried about me. Blacksmith is not here because he's collecting shemps. And so she probably still would have been in the white there instead of orange if I didn't do the dodge into invisibility. The peekaboo. Now I'm slowly walking around, just, you know, trying to figure them out. But like I said, they already know.
Even now, our power bleeds into the rift.
Now they wanted to deal damage here. And I'm kind of just like letting them take their frustrations out. And I can't get down here because it doesn't matter. They won. And now I want to create that chaos. If she had that machete, I'm surprised he didn't drop the machete. That's funny. Well, Blacksmith definitely was carrying this team. If you would have dropped that machete for the Mia, it would have been over. And I'm just placing proxy portals and trying to get fear on them. Like I said, I'm letting them win here, so I don't really care. It's just funny. And so I do the ability so like they don't know who's who. And then the Blacksmith is kind of understanding what's going on here. And he saved the Hunter Ash. But Mia's possessible again. And I didn't want to hit book that. That was the place that he bled out. So, yeah, they have this. I'm just having fun now. I don't think I'm getting fear anymore. So I'm kind of just like hanging out, chilling. I think they do need damage, so once again I want to use that ability because it does put fear on them. And I am going to get boss again, and I finally have some proxy pulls here. And I'm able to possess the Mia again. But I'm just used heavy. I should have did lights here, and I could have killed him. But I decided not to. And I try to go for like this cool cutscene when the book ends, where I grab, but it immediately makes me drop the grab. So I didn't know that happened. So yeah, this wasn't as bad as it normally gets when I play, but they were just really engaging with me, so I was just like, I was happy to let them win. And I get 33 downs this game. I could have got a lot more, but then we would have went. They would have lost. So yeah, thanks for watching my P5 Baal video. And yeah, I won't play like that anymore. I promise.